It's normally very specific cases. This commander ordered that set of troops to go in, and that constitutes a war crime. Or they did this, and that would constitute a crime against humanity. And they have to prove, the prosecution have to prove those individual things. The crime of aggression is still so much more nebulous. Is it worth chasing this kind of crime to try and get a leader like Vladimir Putin in prison?
I think it's absolutely worth working on the crime of aggression, because what we've seen in the last decades really is a strong focus on what you describe, the crimes that take place during a war. But we haven't really, or we basically ignored the crime or the war itself. So since the end of the Second World War, really, we haven't really looked into the legality of starting a war, but only focused on the crimes that take place during a war. And therefore, I think it would be really critical to address that that lack in international law. And I think the possibility of the situation in Ukraine would provide an opportunity to develop international law in that respect.
Super interesting. So just finally, do you believe that Vladimir Putin could ever be in the dock in a court in The Hague? Do you think, in your sort of mind, do you think that's a feasible possibility in the future?
It is. It is a possibility which I would definitely see. Again, situations and circumstances can change quite quickly. We don't know what's going to happen, but for the foreseeable future, it's unrealistic. But it doesn't mean that it's impossible.